6:38 this morning. Now to a morning original. Stories you see first here on Wake Up Central. Now this time of year we think of food and football, but while we enjoy watching touchdowns and tough hits from the comfort of our own homes, it's important to remember for those players, glory can come with a catch. Football can be violent, it can be exhausting, and it can also be the time of your life.
Basically going to war with the buddy next to you.
UCA's Caleb Shiren is exactly the type of player you want by your side. That's why the Bears signed the 6'5", 300-pound guard out of Cabot.
Getting that call in the summer from Coach Boykin saying that I was getting offered, it was truly amazing.
The newest Bear was ready to take his game to the Division I level when an ordinary play during a routine practice changed everything.
Wasn't really sure what was going on. I kind of looked up and there was a trainer there. And he didn't pull me off the field. It was my first concussion ever.
Caleb went through the required concussion protocol before returning to practice just a few weeks later, where yet again he suffered another concussion.
Kind of an eye-opener. It was like, oh wow, this is happening again.
After his second, Caleb did a mandated 18-day protocol until he was fully symptom-free.
I probably didn't have symptoms for the last 7 or 8 days, but they were just super cautious. The UCA training staff is really good.
Finally cleared, Caleb returned to practice when the unbelievable happened yet again.
I think it was the third practice back. I got hit, like I was dizzy, disoriented, couldn't really, wobbling.
After 3 concussions in 2 months, Caleb knew it was time for a conversation, beginning with head athletic trainer Dave Strickland.
We're going to give him the data that we are reading and seeing, and we know that after you have received multiple concussions, you're more prone to concussions.
A report released just this month from the Radiological Society of North America found that young concussion victims showed decreased cognitive function, lower test scores, and problems with concentration and memory.
It's hard because at one point it's like what football can do for you, and now, as I was talking to my wife Paula, it's like, geez, it's what football can do to you.
That's why Dave and UCA have made it their mission to make sure their football players are knowledgeable.
We have a whole day set aside just for concussion education. They watch video on concussions. We have a question and answer session after, and it's an intimate question and answer, 10, 20 athletes in there.
But they kind of explained everything and made sure that I was fully aware of what could happen.
With information from the experts and advice from his family, Caleb made the difficult decision to hang up his cleats for good.
I've been with them for a year and a half. I have lifelong friends on that team, and so I won't stop being on the team. I'll just stop, being out there with them. It's what God has planned. So
instead of pads, now it's books, and they're still supporting him. And as a dad, and my wife Paula as a mom, we could not have asked for anything better for our son.
And Caleb is majoring in exercise science and hopes his story can help other athletes use this information that is at their fingertips nowadays to make the best decision for them on the playing field. Again, this is not just football, this is soccer too. Many other sports as well has been discussed, but Caleb gives a big credit to UCA for providing him with all the information, sitting down, having the tough conversation of realizing maybe my path forward is not football.
But he's studying now to be the person who can inform. Sure. That's amazing that he didn't take it so hard that he couldn't bounce back.
Well, he's unbelievable too. He's an unbelievable kid, and I say kid, he's a very large man, very large man, but unbelievable resources that kids now, in 2024 did not have 15, 20 years ago.
Well, he'll be an incredible resource to the kids too, having been there and be able to relate to anyone going through this in the future.
He knows what he speaks.
That's right.
And Dave and UCA's team is unbelievable at what they do as well.
The transparency they have too, and the protocol, I'm sure, is top of the line.
And those athletic trainers, they're the ones, as soon as that concussion happens, they're on the field. They're right there. They try to recognize immediately we have to take care of them.
Safety
and so, they're the first ones there.
But man, 3 in 2 months, goodness.
Never had one before his life.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, these are kids.
Yeah.
Even though he's a big man.
Well, and I'll say this too, I know there's a lot of football going on. I don't know how much I'd be like to practice in when it's about 30 degrees outside.